Okay, folks, I hope you can hear me because I'm not going to turn off my humidifiers or my fans or anything. But what I am going to do is I'm going to turn this off for Denise, that red light or the LED light. So this is going to be the beginning of November 2020 Orchid collection walkthrough. And it says the humidifier says it's 33, but that says it's 60% humidity, about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So we are in the main room here, downstairs in the basement. We are at, these windows are east, west is this way, north, south. I have fan there, there's a fan there. Do want to put another somewhere this way, have it going this way. But my humidifier here seems to provide a cross breeze. Of course, these racks are new, so setup is new. I'm just going to start off with this plant. Give Denise a look at that. Going over. Up here is a new acquisition, but I've had this and will always have this as bucket list. This is my Den Balconieri, which is a species. It's deciduous. I love the uniqueness of the pseudobulbs, and you can see the new growths. It does require a little bit of a cooler, dry rest in the room. Then it will begin to get flower spikes, same way as the other deciduous orchids do. Once new growth begins or buds form, you start to water. And generally that will stimulate the onset of flowers, which are purple, white and dark purple edged with a yellow lip. Very attractive. And there is, I believe there might be a slight fragrance. This is my newly repotted. This is a cross. This is Dendrobium cruciflorum, and it is crossed with Dendrobium it's on the tip of my tongue. Cruciflorum crossed with Farmeri, that's what it is. There is a name for this plant. It's looking a little bit worse for wear after the repot. You can see that wonky new growth. That root growth there is a little bit wonky, but it likes it a little bit drier like the species do. And it can bloom twice a year from little nubbins along the sides. Really never at the top, usually along the sides of the completed pseudobulbs. Deciduous, as I said. Nice cascading full kind of honeycomb, not honeycomb, but just like cluster of flowers. They're not really fragrant, but they're white with a yellow edge, with a pink lip, of course. Lighter than this. Here is one of my few Vanda types, or Vanda period. I have lots of Vanda types, but this is my Motes Interstella. Roots have kind of died back, the green tips, but that is what it does in the winter. Did have green tips shortly before. Moving up here, this is my Trichocentrum candidum, which did have a spike on it that kept producing new buds, but it eventually petered out before giving me a bloom. But it has put up lots of nice growths. I think it put up 3 new growths. Down here is a struggling recovery. You can see that one cane. I want to say this is my little bird. It says it's James Pickney. Could be, but that's what's all left of it. So I have to get another one of those. This is Corona Cervi here. That's mounted. It says Corona Cervi red. It's got that spike on it. Corona Cervi is a phalaenopsis that likes moist and likes it humidity, likes high humidity, I should say. They don't want to ever dry out. And they like diffused light, not direct. But the spike, as long as it stays green, can bloom. Down below, this is my Angraecum. It's my longer calcar, that's what it is, which is a form of variety of superbum. Here's another repot. This is my Chysis lamengii. Bloomed really nicely. Repotted it recently because it was in need. Probably needs a bit of a watering, because these do like water and they don't want to completely dry out. So why don't I just go ahead and gently put it in there. So I might move that in the other room because it tends to be a little cooler, or maybe move it over into the window over that way. This is the furnace room, so things will be a little bit more on the warmer side, and the humidity will have to be, will have to be supplemented. So up here on this rack, yeah, we're done with that rack. So up here on this top rack, I have, here's a gold digger times guatemalensis that hadn't bloomed for me, but it gave me this growth, which that growth gave me that growth. Next to here is my Den Spectabile, which gave me a couple new growths this year that have matured. This still likes water, even in its so-called resting phase. Less amount, but they still don't want to completely dry out, and they do want it to be a little bit more cooler. These are more intermediate types. Next to that, I have Cattleya Lawrenceana crossed with Cattleya montiaca, and this did bloom last year, and it put up another growth that has a sheath there, and then that one put up another growth. So we'll see. This is one that bloomed from last year that put up two pseudobulbs. Next to here is my Den Spider Lily. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Yeah, Spider Lily, which is Alexandria crossed with Roy Tokunaga. And it gave me a nice growth here. And looks like it's putting up another. Next to that, I have a nodosa, my Brassivola nodosa, Brassavola nodosa times Cattleya guatemalensis. And this did bloom as well last year, right there. And it gave me a lot of new growths. See, that has a sheath. And then there's this growth that's got a sheath. And there's a sheath there. And I've got two more growths right there on this plant. So we'll see what it does. In fact, this right here kind of looks like maybe it's going to start filling up with something. Who knows? We'll see. Right next to this is really recently repotted Pawella Garfunkel, which is This is Cattleya. Actually, that's not what that is. It's my Cattleya luteola crossed with Iricolor. Recently repotted, wonky in the pot. Down below here, this is my girl, Cat Brincolellia Cattleya Akiko Sato. And it's not looking so hot, but it's in a sort of a dormancy. This is the growth that it gave me last year, and then it tried to give me a couple on the side here that blasted. Next to it, I have a couple of Gongoras. This is Gongora quinquenervis. And this one down here is my Gongora grossa that bloomed last fall. And I don't really see any flower spikes. They generally will start before I bring them in, but there are still new growths maturing, and as well as some older growths that have matured. So we'll see. Same thing on this one. I think this might be histrionica. And here is my Stanhopea tigrina cross times Nigo violacea, which tigrina is like a little bit cooler on the intermediate side, less water, more shady. Down here is my Cinnabarina times it's LC Trick or Treat. And you can see it's looking really dead. And it might be, but I'm hanging on to it because it was a very nice plant. Over here is a new acquisition. This is Epicattleya Burdekin Surprise. And very big plant. And it's got sheaths around, plus new growths that are maturing. There's another sheath. And behind here is another Encyclia. This is a Phoenicia cross. And over here, this is another Encyclia. And I'm not sure, but it's giving me lots of growths. I just dropped the tag. Okay, put it back. Up above here is my Cattleya Bactea grape wax that I just repotted, or just potted up. And next to it is my Enanthaleya Jim Burkhalter Jim's Delight. And this plant also has a couple of sheaths. There's one there. And there's another one there. So we shall see. Back over here, which probably needs a little more light. This is my not Summon Substance, but it is not Summon Substance, Ports of Paradise in Rhode Isle. Bloomed last year, gave me 3 nice growths. I'm not sure if any of them will produce any blooms, but they're nice growths, and they are not blasting. And here's another one over here. Now this right here on the floor is my very big Den Gatton Sunray, and it bloomed a couple times last year. This year it gave me a new growth that's back there. As of yet, I am not seeing any spikes. It did bloom last year. Spikes come from anywhere along the cane. Over here is my Prostechia livida, mounted. Should be putting up some spikes and also some new growths, but it has kind of suffered a bit. Down here is something I got late summer, and this is That's what that is. Encyclia microtis. It's a species. Probably needs a little more light. Here is one of my Pyratia. No, that's a flagellaris that I mounted. Up here is I'm not sure. I believe this might be a Maikai, but it is Mitzi's plant that she gave me. And it gave me a lot of new growth despite being overgrown in this basket. And the basket just looking, plant is healthy, but it doesn't look so healthy in this basket. There are a couple of these new pseudobulbs that have sheaths. Same as this one, although this one is not looking so hot. This is my Richard Mueller. And you can see here is a new pseudobulb that had a sheath. And then this pseudobulb, so I'm trying to keep it drier. And that's got a sheath in it as well. And I've been doing a lot of repotting, so that's why my hands are all dirty. And below here is Ascocentrum, cherry something. Over here is also something new. 2 encyclias. This is Cochleata times Cordigera. And then this one is Orchid. This is another flagellaris that I recently mounted this summer. Over here are a couple of trichocentrums. This is looking horrible, but this is Jason Fuchs. And then, oh no, that's Lillian Oka. And this one is Stacey, which is not looking hot, which is not looking bad at all. It looks excellent, in fact. Let me just hang it up here. But you see the roots. And some of the growths are not great, but it is getting nice water, so the roots are looking like it is happy. Now this one, which is a Trichoglatis, Orchidea. No, it's not Trichoglatis. Yeah, it is. Trichoglatis, yeah, Orchidea. Still really recovering. But I have hope for this cane. It is still growing. Let's go this way. And sorry for the darkness over here. But this is my Kodama yellow. That's just sitting here. This is my Encyclia. It's actually Notornidium Sunset, Hawaiian Sunset. This is a species Epidendrum. It's Bahamiana. And it looks not so good, but I've been upping the water and there are little nubbins coming out on some of these other canes. I think there's a couple others. There's one over here. Then I've just got some encyclias up here. That's Richard Mueller hybrid. More Persavilla crosses. Here's my again Velvet Winter Melody. And here's another trichocentrum in here that needs to probably be moved. That is Kunina. Here is my Persavilla martiana that's still got that new growth coming. This is the one that I got from Kelly, that cross that I put on that mount. Down below here, which I need to move this rack around. I rotate them so that they get heat and light from the LED on all sides. the rack, but the rack does get filtered from the back. Down here are just epidendrums, crosses, and then here is my Engranthes that has a cross between Viguieri and Caudata. Here's one of my, I think it's Serena O'Neill, that epidendrum here, and there's a Stanhopea epidendrum Stanfordianum. Here's my Comari here hanging out, and then here's some of my Maxillaria, Variabilis Ortinifolia, yellow, and then there's the other over there. And this way, here is my highly anticipated Sugita Spots Cantus, and it's got 2 buds there. Did have another spike, but it blasted, and I'm not sure where. Oh, here it is. And over here on this side are just more encyclias. There's my Brassavola reginae that bloomed late summer. Here's my Tangerinum, Dendrobium tangerinum. And then here's more encyclias here. This is probably Osmantha, maybe. And back here is my roughly profuse. And then here's my Angraecum Linford White Beauty. Here is a Lacturia. This is Hadwinii. Nice. It's another flower. And up above here, this I believe is Brassavola tuberculata. This is Trichocentrum. I know, but I can't think of it. Tetragona, maybe. Here's my daffodil with a sheath that should be pushing forward flowers. Here's my perenniae, Brassavola perenniae. This is Osmantha. This is my one of my Cattleya tropical pointers. Down here are some encyclias, crosses. I think this one is Carol Woods, and then this one over here is Gail Nagasaki. And that one over there is Renee Grazafii. But this is Cattleya, no, it's BC Daffodil. Yellow fragrant flower. What else? Here is my Leptotes bicolor. I think that's a 4N. Here's some other Leptotes here. And then here's the one that I just got mounted here. I believe that's Unicolor. No, that might be Unicolor, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that is Unicolor. That's one that I had last downstairs that was in bloom. And I mounted it. Shoot. And then I dropped it. So anyway, I'm just going to put that there. And some recoveries. Here is a Florida Star Spring Zip. Here's my BC Greenbird, just finished blooming. And here's more and more Brassavolas. I think this is my BC Petite something. So, and anyway, let's back out of here. And I forgot this, which is in bloom, Catanara Jamaica Red. And this right here, I can't show you this. which is my Dan Amethystoglossia. I just repotted it. And it is going to bloom as soon as spring. And shit. Sorry. I'm all tangled up now. But there's a couple more. And there's one. So those are... Okay, well, I was showing you my Dan Amethystoglossia. As you see there. Just more encyclias, bassavilas, encyclias. And on this rack, in addition, this actually is Granatica. This is a spider lily, I believe, another spider lily. And then this plant is my Epidendrum mimosa. No, not mimosa. Maniferum. That has, it did bloom for me early in the spring. No, spring, summer. Are capable of reblooming. Often they do. This is my petite stars, that's what I was going to say. And here is my Angraecum cespasquidale, giving me another leaf there. Up above here is my Dendrobium friderixianum, which is not long on this mount. Not doing bad. Just so you know, it is, since it is past Halloween, I have begun I switched the fertilizer to grow, or to bloom, I'm sorry, and now I fertilize a lot less, once a month. Here's a couple of mounted plants. Well, I can't read that, but you can see that little growth there. And then here is my Golden Glory Apollo. There's a little reaction going on. Up above, this is another Spectabile, a baby. And then here's one of my Magic Leopards that has a couple buds. There's one, and there's one over there. Okay, down below here I've got some paths. Here's my Philippines, and then I've got, there's my path, I can't remember, but it is maybe Julius. Yes, path Julius. And then here is something that I hardly ever talk about. It's my Area floribunda. And then down there are a couple of crosses that I got from Peter Lynn. Down here is my Hercoglossum, Dendrobium Hercoglossum. And I've got some Bulbophyllums down here as well. I believe that is a alba, it's not carunculatum, but it is a synonym of carunculatum, an alba form. And then here is another, and then I've got this one that is recovering. Here's my den. Ferrienii, that's Ferrienum. Repotted recently. Okay, that's all for that. Over here on this side, let me move this up a bit. Here is this hot lava stars that I got from Florida Suncoast. We'll see if I can maintain it. Has been repotted. Here is another. Give me some sugar Sagitta spots, goes with Aria. And then there are two more. Here is my Cattleya creme brulee. And then here is my very reliable Causticcia, well, it's Epi Green Hornet. And it's got a couple sheaths, so that will be giving us more flowers very soon. Here's my Cimbadella rhodochelia, and then here is a cross that is Den Shirashai times Macrophyllum, and it's got a couple growths that are maturing on both sides. And then way down there is another Schomburgia Cattleya cross that I don't know why I got. Now down there, this is my Michael Kupovich, and this is Macrophyllum. I'm pretty sure that this is my Macrophyllum, yeah. Likes lots of water, a little bit cooler. Same as my Spectabile right here. These are all related. Can't forget this. This is my Persavola Crazy Arachno, and it's got a few growths coming up now, 3. I also see a bit of maybe they're mealies. I'll have to check that out. And up here is my newly finished blooming Lanny Mori Shambalalia, which is Richard Mueller times that, and bloomed from that spike, and it's already putting up another. Probably about time to repot that, but we can do that when we really absolutely have to. This is an Epidendrum diffusum, and I believe that's about it for this one. Yeah, that's about it for this one. But when I come back, there's more next door. So stay tuned for that, please. So when we are back in the laundry room, I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. Oh, this fell, which is unfortunate, and I knew it was going to as soon as I put it up there. I'm not sure what this is. I want to say that it is that Lucara Francis Fox, but I'm not sure. But maybe if that sheath develops, maybe I'll get a better idea. But this has some scale on it that I need to really keep it separate, as does that one back there, which is my Luctone, LC Luctone, African Beauty. So I'm trying to keep these isolated and watched over. To the left of that is my Brigham Lace Star, which is giving me a new leaf, I thought. Anyway, it's just sitting there. It's doing okay. And to the left of that is my Maxillaria Placata. Is it Placata? Picta. And it has matured those growths. And this is generally the time when it will start putting up spikes. You can see the forming spikes from last year. It would be a first time bloom for me. In front here is my Densiflorum, which is a species, got that from Equigena. Trying to still figure this one out. And to the right of that is my Ingracum compactum, a species. And I noticed that to the side, if you dig out, there is another little tiny growth. And there's another one of those Persavola crosses times small growth. And more Ingracums. And Encyclias here that are maturing in the window. Up here is, has been shown many times, Epilalia Cattleya Butterfly Kisses. It's got those 3 spikes on it. And here's my Orchids grandiflora. And then down here is my Acreopsis javanica. This is my Scottian, Angraecum Scottianum, and then back here is my Magdalena. Back here is my baby Dendrobium baby Hibiki. Right there, it's a miniature. That used to be my Encyclia Marii. Maybe one of those growths will survive. They don't like moisture in the winter, or so I thought. Here is my Epigenium Treacherinatum. We'll see. We'll see. Keeping it moist and keeping it in good airflow. Fan blowing right on it. And spike here is my Pathstone Susan times Sanderianum. There's the inflorescence, and that is going to be the first flower. And here is my Wischipia Adelii, which is giving me a couple growths there. Back in here, which you can hardly see, is my Barkeria, which is a cross, but there are 2 spikes on it, and one is way in the window. And there is the spike. You can really hardly see it, but it's got a few buds on the end. Just don't want to pull it out. More encyclias, and then there's my Encyclia Oxypila. That is choice. And then here is another choice plant that I am trying to coax into bloom. This is my BC Erosion, which is Walkeriana crossed with Cattleya glauca, Savala glauca. And it bloomed a couple of years ago, beautifully fragrant flowers. It put up a lot of nice growth, so hopefully we'll see flowers. Here is my Longus Scotlea, and then here's my Cassiolaris, Angraecum Cassiolaris, which is, some of its growths are dying off. This is my BC North Miami. It's got some sheaths on it that I am hoping will give me some spikes. It's down here because I need to spray it for scale. This is Cattleya, it's BC Pinnae Amazing, or Cattleya Pinnae Amazing, which just finished blooming. And it's got this growth back here. Who knows what it'll do. Up here is my Colostylus or Steady Eye. And down below here, this is Atricus Centrum, which probably should be in the window. In fact, because these like light, and this is Carthaginensis, which is beautiful. Beautiful tall spikes. Smells like candy. Next to this is my going out of bloom Epi Nocturnum, which indeed is nocturnally fragrant and potentially sequentially blooming. That bloom blasted, unfortunately. It's got good roots and it's giving me new growth, so it's always in active growth. Next to here is my Grandalina, who is also losing some growth. I need to really take care and not giving it the water during the season. Below here is Angraecum viramense, which was just recently put on this pole, and you can see there's a nice root there doing nicely. And inside this basket here is Angraecum Lady Lisa, and then behind here is Anthis caudata. Here's my Joyce Stewart, Angraecum Joyce Stewart. Here is the Jumelita, or Jumelita. That's what that is, just finished blooming. But I think that that little nubbin over there could perhaps be another spike, and maybe another one over on the other side, but we'll see. To the right of that is my Erangus modesta that has been potted up like that for maybe a month. Behind there is Elisei, Erangus Elisei. This is Erangus citrata with this, and there's another spike down there. This down here is my Eranthes arachnidas, and here is my Sertorchis arcuata that has a little kiki down there, and then it's got, that's the main plant. Speaking of that, here is another Sertorchis across. There's a name for that, Heinrich von something. Like I said, this is the plant that I got from JP. Pete, and it just finished blooming. This, I suppose, is a Solanangus Whitfieldi. Here's my Podangus Ducklariza. Very temperamental kind of plant. Doesn't like a lot of water, prefers it to be drier. Here's my Viguiere, species Angraecum, which is very slow. Next to here, this is a Uriangus, Virginia Nile, maybe. Yeah, that's what it is, Uriangus, Virginia Nile. And then here is Erangus Kotskiana times Nero. And here is my Orchidii, no. Where's the tag? Young Polystachys. Doing fine. No signs of any leaf drop or anything, so that's great. Down here are some epidendrums. This is an Angraecum species that really is looking haggardly. This is my Subulatum. This is Selectorianum, Epidendrum Selectorianum, which gets really big. And actually, what is that? It could be a spike. I don't know. This is another epidendrum. This is Cornatum. That is a species. And down here is Epidendrum Penn's Cove. And then back here, this epidendrum, which is Eddie Lick Run, is, wow, I just noticed something. But I'll start with this inflorescence. This is in a lens cross. That is a flower bud. But I noticed over on this other side of the plant, this inflorescence that I thought was dried up. If you look further up near the top, you see that in there? That is going to be a bud. That's how that plant does. That's how epidendrums do. They will continue to bloom from those inflorescence as long as they are green. Same as how Nocturnum is doing. You see how the top is still green. So that's pretty much it for in here and all of my orchids here. Yeah. Hopefully that wasn't so long. By the way, this room is facing west. This is south, just so you know. And as you can tell, I have supplemented it with humidifiers. There's a heater here and an LED. And of course I need to put more humidity here, and I will. But thanks for watching, folks. And stay tuned for more. Enjoy your orchids. Bye.